All right. Hello, Quinn Lord, aka Sam. Thank you for joining me on Mysteries. And Halloween is something that you know quite a bit about.
Mhm.
And so, my first question for you is Trick or Treat was one of the first major film roles for you, and you were around 5, I believe.
I was 7 years old.
7.
Yeah, it was quite an experience. Every single day on set was a lot like, Halloween as a kid. So I've definitely got my fair share of Halloween, but I'm still itching for more. So
Well, I was going to ask you, how did the experience and how did that influence your acting in future projects? But also, how did they explain to you this character at so young of an age?
well, I sort of it wasn't like a super in-depth kind of explanation to me as a child, like how it was, like how it was Sam Hain and the spirit of Halloween and the enforcing of the rules. I just sort of had like a summary description for the longest time of he's a minor demon disguised as a human and he enforces the rules of Halloween. And then what the rules are, well, on this cup here, you can sort of see, or oh wait, no, not on the cup. It's somewhere around here in some of these
You
other,
have quite a bit of memorabilia.
yeah, it's written down on some of the
You have quite a
memorabilia.
bit of memorabilia, people. Someone took a trip to Spirit just like I did.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, speaking of, I even have this little bag clip, and I don't know what it is yet.
Oh, it's a blind bag.
Yeah, it's a
Yes.
50-50 chance whether it's the lollipop Sam, flaming pumpkin Sam, or not Sam. Would you mind if I open
Oh,
this?
go for it. Go for it. I
I'm
want to
very
see
interested.
too. Those are a pain to open. I
Yeah,
have
they are.
quite a few of them myself.
I can brute force it. Oh,
You have to have a
okay.
knife somewhere. You're Sam.
I do need a knife, don't I?
They are a pain to open those. I was gonna say I actually one moment while you're attempting to open.
There we go. Did it.
Kidding when I said I'd just been to Spirit because I got this the other day, which is your candy bar with the razor blade in it.
Oh, the hot. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's actually named after one of the producers from the show.
yeah, that thing was hard to find.
Oh, ow.
Oh, he cut himself. Great.
Yeah. Sam doesn't know how to work well with blades, funnily enough. Actually, not blades, the packaging. But
Who'd you get?
50-50 chance.
Oh, you got your
That's
head.
awesome. Yep. I have to hang this somewhere.
That's
It's like the best
fantastic.
keychain I've ever seen.
They are fantastic. I've got like that brand makes a lot of really great horror ones, and I have a Lost Boys David, I think, and a couple others from them.
Oh, wow.
So that's great. That's so
Awesome.
cute. That's so funny that you got yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this in a very special place now. Cool.
That's great. So, um, so with this experience, how did that help you towards your future acting? Like, what did you take from this one?
Oh yeah, well, it was a nice bit of practice, playing the villain for a little while. So some roles after that would include Smallville, where I was possessed by the Phantom.
It's true.
So I got to, sort of flex those muscles, and then, well, it's definitely something I've had a little bit of experience with. So perhaps I could go down the line and play the villain.
So did the physicality, because what was interesting to me was we didn't get to see much of your face, but you were able to, you even at that young age, you were able to use, just how you walked, how you moved, kind of like when Sam was sad, you would just sort of use your body to convey that. How did that, were you already trained at that point, or did that kind of help you with your physical acting?
It was kind of a learning experience, and then also, well, I was kind of learning it as I was doing it. And well, also Mike Dougherty is such a great director that he sort of gave a lot of
Yeah.
pointers and sort of helped me out that way. So I've definitely learned quite a bit from that set, and took it onward for like the subtleties of like the way you walk, the mannerisms. I think the last place I sort of applied that of any note was there was like a special from the back of the head kind of shot in the first episode of season 2 of Man in the High Castle, where I'm walking through the school and it's just a slight thing, you know, just keeping the back of my head interesting. Like, what else can I really do, right? It's like a tiny little thing.
That's
But
funny, but
it's
it's true.
interesting.
It's you have to learn to use your body. That's really fascinating.
Mhm.
So another question in regards to this was, Trick or Treat as an anthology held a lot of dark cautionary tales within it. And you've gone on to series like Man in the High Castle, where it speaks to human nature and, how using genres to kind of tell these stories. And how does it make you feel as an actor? Is it liberating and give you more space to use these different genres to tell these stories when you're using fantasy, horror, and science fiction to tell them? Does it kind of give you liberation to kind of go more?
Um, yeah, I'm always up for spreading my wings and getting myself in as many different genres as possible. So recently, I was just part of a project called EK Boys, and that has just premiered down south at Fantastic Fest for the first time in Texas.
I saw some of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
you saw some of that?
I saw some stuff you were promoting from it. I'm like, oh, this looks interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, but it's also for like a very kind of niche audience of people who are sort of growing up and really love like anime and Japanese culture. And then also it's kind of like trying to bridge, you know, the divide of, well, the Pacific Ocean between Japan film and TV and the US film and TV. So it's kind of like for both, but then it's, you know, it's for people who can appreciate both and maybe can draw some new people in as well.
Awesome.
It's just a
Yeah,
fun project.
awesome. So you've kind of embraced the movie and the character wholeheartedly as we see, and which I love and I totally support. So what do you think has made Sam so iconic? Because you've created an icon. I mean, it's kind of interesting because you started at you were 7 years old and you made this character that here we are, what, like 15, 20 years later. I'm old, I don't remember.
Oh. I
But
will say I never knew that it was going to be this big at the time, and I'm not sure anyone really can truly predict, you know, the popularity of things before they happen.
well, and what's interesting is it made some small waves when it opened originally, but
Mm,
over the years it has just been embraced.
yeah.
And I'm curious about your experience with this and how it's affected your career and just, fandom in general, how it's affected you. And because you've truly embraced this and I love it.
Well, yeah, I'm I also like I from the age of 7 onwards, like as soon as I started hearing about, you know, uh like how it was being received and like going to all the different festivals, walking the black carpet when I was younger, with Michael Dougherty and some of the cast, it was definitely something that, you know, I didn't take for granted. I was like, this is a unique experience. Like no one my age at this time is really going through this, or maybe like a very few amount of people. So I'm just gonna, you know, I'm just gonna go with it and embrace it and live it up for all it is.
It's
Yeah, up
great.
until now, you know,
Yeah, yeah. And
definitely something. It's
it is like like we just said, I went to Spirit Halloween store last weekend, and there's entire chunks of the store dedicated to this film.
yeah. I may need to, you know, grab myself a Band-Aid after this. I cut myself on the package a little bit. All right.
You can totally grab one now if you need to.
No, I can wait. I can wait.
Good Lord.
I just keep glancing down. I'm seeing more and more red. So
How did Quinn die? Oh, he did it on my show.
paper cut, yeah.
He cut an artery and it was yeah. Um, so one thing I definitely wanted to ask you because of the focus of this episode was being the epitome or the manifestation of Halloween with Sam, have you done any research yourself on the legends and the folklore? And if you have, what was something you discovered that surprised you?
Well, I most of my research kind of comes from Dylan Baker's character from the movie, if I'm going to be honest. And it definitely sounds like something I would delve into deeply if the time is right and everything just sort of aligns and I'm really interested in the moment. But I like to also keep some things on the back burner so I can entertain myself later, so I don't have everything that I'm interested in all at once and then there's nothing left to look forward to. I definitely have that mindset about me, which is kind of a pro and kind of a con at the same time, because some things that I should know, I don't, and some other things that, oh, you should watch this. You said you would. And I'm like, yeah, as soon as I find something else to put on the back burner first.
Yeah, well, and one thing that I discovered doing some research for this episode was that Dylan's character is based off of a real guy. And the whole, I knew about the poisoning of candy aspect of that had always been there, and we saw like in Halloween 2, for example, the kid gets the razor blade in his mouth from an apple, which is, but there was really a guy who killed his son and poisoned his candy, and he looked like Dylan's character, had the glasses and everything. So Mike did his homework on that, and it is eerie to, and he was at the end of that story, he ended up being killed by lethal injection on Halloween.
Lethal injection of werewolf. Of werewolf substance.
That was great.
Werewolf teeth.
Yeah. So that my next to last question for you is something you've probably been asked quite often, but I was specifically asked when I said, hey, fans, do you have a question? But I wanted to ask this a little differently. There has been years of talk of a sequel.
Here it is.
But I'm going to switch it up a little bit for you.
Oh, okay.
My question to you is, if there was a sequel, which we hope there is, because it's one of the best anthologies ever, and Mike Dougherty is an amazing director, would you want to come back as Sam, or would you want to come back as a different representation of the holiday, as an older version?
Well, saying there's an older version, that's almost like saying, like, oh, you played Thor before, hey, let's come back and play the older version Odin or something. That's like the Halloween version of that, almost. Like, you played Sam and now we can play something older and more mysterious, potentially more powerful. That actually sounds kind of crazy, but I don't know, perhaps the doorway opens. I don't know.
My idea I always thought of was Sam has an older brother, or perhaps a younger brother, who is the newer thought processes of Halloween, and walks around with Sam holding his hand, but is the younger, more inexperienced spirit of Halloween that has become.
Okay. That sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think I that was the idea I always thought would be interesting to see, to get you back in there. And
I mean, there is always the avenue of, I played 2 roles in Trick or Treat. I was in a little monkey suit as the peeping Tommy, but I'm thinking probably just as a fan fiction, right? That that the peeping Tommy grows up and he's not, a normal person really, and he peeps at one of Sam's killings, and then apparently, that's something that he's interested in, and he somehow figures out how to become allied with Sam, and then Sam takes him under his wing and teaches him right from wrong in the rules of Halloween. And
his minion.
Yeah, his minion. I mean, that kind of almost sounds like Dexter. But,
this is true.
I really like the show Dexter, so
we'll use you as a weapon and point you towards things. That's all.
Yeah.
Dexter's coming back, and it's fantastic.
I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. I am too. So my last question for you is, I want to give you a chance, and you've given us some info on things that you have upcoming. What do you have going on right now, and where can people find you online?
So currently I am filming season 2 of Firefly Lane. It's set in the 70s, so I get to wear like the whole 70s clothes and a 70s wig with like the whole, big hair and everything. And season 1 is on Netflix right now, Firefly Lane. And EK Boys is premiering the festival. Besides that, before that, there's Man in the High Castle, which is on Amazon Prime, but the more recent stuff is Firefly Lane and EK Boys. So
did you want to become the new Doctor Who?
You just outright said that.
I did.
Well, I mean, it's everybody's dream, right? And I'm really into sci-fi, so I wouldn't say no, but of course there'd definitely be an intimidation factor because of the greats who have gone before, and just the more people who've,
Just say yes. I'd want to be the new Doctor.
Simple answer, yes. But of course, other sci-fi genres and things, especially after my influence on set of EK Boys, is from Robotech Macross. Rick Hunter is a really of interest for me.
God, yeah, I can't unsee it.
Put on the jumpsuit and the helmet and everything.
You have to do Rick Hunter. You have to be live action. Okay, Guillermo del Toro, if you're listening out there and you're going to do Robotech,
I'm interested.
This is your Rick Hunter right here. Damn it. This is Rick. Look at his hair. You need to...
Oh, right, the hair too, yeah.
Awesome. Maybe we got you a job. That would be amazing.
Who knows what the future holds? It's crazy. Like what happens sometimes.
I don't know. I've manifested Johnny Depp as a vampire, and so I'm gonna manifest you as Rick Hunter. It's gonna happen. Rick Hunter, or a guest spot in Doctor Who, if not the Doctor. There you go.
That would be absolutely wonderful, because I've been watching Doctor Who for ages, since I was a little kid.
Same.
Oh,
hey, it worked out for Peter Capaldi and it worked out for David Tennant.
Yep.
So
I mean, well, also I'm a big fan of sci-fi in general, and it was kind of like a dream meeting that, on the set of EK Boys, a car pulled up and out stepped Ben Browder from Farscape. I'm like,
oh my God, that's great.
It's John Crichton. He hadn't aged a day. Well, he has a beard, but like besides that, that's
so awesome. That makes me so happy.
It really is. Like
that's so great.
So
I
cool.
No, there's sometimes I still get starstruck. I still can't believe it. Like talking to you is amazing. Like I'm talking to Sam. It's great, but it's so neat when you find out, yeah, they geek out too.
Yeah, everyone's a person.
That's so cool that you was like, John Crichton. It's John Crichton. It's so great. I love it. Well, Quinn, thank you so much. This was so much fun, and I'm gonna send you a link to the episode. I hope you love it, and I think you'll really enjoy it. We have a lot of fun doing these, and again, I hope you get to be Rick. That I can't unsee that now. That's in my heart.
That'd be a dream come true. That or Doctor Who. A cameo even.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Yeah. They're getting ready to she's regenerating.
Oh no.
She is.
I don't want to go.
God, don't say that. That'll make me cry. Don't say that line.
It always gets me.
It's so evil. I think Capaldi may have destroyed me though when he left, because he did that speech, and
all the new Who speeches.
No, they're evil. But Tennant, he said that he would have stayed if they'd pull him out on a wheelchair from the TARDIS. He would have stayed, but he's like, I have to leave now, or I never will. I'm like, why do you have to do it that way though? And then blow up the freaking TARDIS when you did.
Radiation of all things.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, no, Wilford, I like you. You just killed him. So
Well,
sad.
hey, there's always that lottery ticket. So
It True. Well, thank you again, Quinn. Thank you for
all right.
geeking out with me, and you are fantastic. I wish you continued success, and hopefully I'll see you soon in
Really?
person and and safely. You know?
All right.
Thank you.
This has been a blast.